We are so happy to have y'all with us. We cannot wait. It is like 3 weeks away, and it is hard to believe that it is almost here, but it seems really far away because we're just so darn excited for it to be October 10th. Thank y'all for joining us today. I heard from some of you, no, you can't join in. We are recording this, so we will be sending it out to you post webinar Pep Rally today. But I just wanted to say to all of you, welcome. We are so fortunate. We've got Nick Ayers and Sydney Rowe on with us today, and they have got some absolutely fantastic content to share with you in a few weeks. And they have been generous enough to join us today to give you a little bit of a bonus. And so thank you both. We'll get to y'all in just a minute, but we wanted to give you an opportunity to have a little bit of fun. And yes, there are prizes at stake. Okay, so what you're going to do is we're going to ask you a question, and all you need to do is buzz in. We don't have any fancy buzzers for you, sorry, but just call out your name when you know the answer. All right, so first question, you can see it on your screen. True or false? At one point, way back in the 1800s, Stanton was the second largest city in Virginia.
Oh.
Jeff.
Okay. True. It is true. That is correct. Which is kind of funny now. It's not a huge city by any stretch at this point, but it is a very cool little city, and there is a ton of history packed into it. And I think y'all are going to get a chance to see that when we get there. So next question. In what year did the Stonewall Jackson Hotel open?
1776.
Is that right?
Is that your birthday too, dude?
That's America's birthday.
I know. Laura knows.
All right, Laura.
1924.
Ah, you got it. You are correct. And this hotel has fairly recently been renovated. About, I mean, I'm talking full renovation, like total overhaul, about 10 years ago. And since then, they've done some smaller renovations. But when they reopened after the full renovation, it was pretty spectacular. It was quite a place in its heyday, and the area was very excited to bring it back. Next question, true or false? The Redbeard Brewing Company, where we will be tonight, actually, for our social, just putting in a plug. Redbeard Brewing Company owner has a degree in fine arts from JMU.
True.
Who said that?
Clay.
Sorry, you're wrong.
Somebody else want to buzz in?
So you have a 50-50 shot.
False.
Okay, I will give the point to someone if you can guess what school it actually was. Another well-known school in the Commonwealth.
Jeff.
Jeff.
VCU?
You are correct. Yes, the owner went to VCU. Next question. The city of Stanton is the birthplace of which president? And yes, we did give you a hint.
Woodrow Wilson.
Who said that?
Laura.
Gotta use your name.
Sorry.
Yes, it is Woodrow Wilson, and you can go visit his birthplace.
I kind of feel like I'm on Big Brother right now.
Good. All right, next question. And this one is my personal favorite because, well, it just is. I'll get to it in a minute. What is the special flavor of the Stanton Klein's Dairy Bar this week? You can Google Klein's Dairy Bar Stanton. Just saying. It's a good one.
Mocha coffee?
Nope.
Banana pudding and salted caramel pecan.
Nope. It's probably another location.
We're there.
Oh, sorry. It's not this week.
No, I don't think so.
It's the week we're there.
Brownie batter.
Yes. Who said it?
Clay.
So Klein's, when y'all are there, you need to make sure that you stop by Klein's. They have, it's the original location was in Harrisonburg, which is my hometown, so it's got a bit of a special place in my heart. They have a flavor of the week, and it's like to die for. My favorite one is chocolate peanut butter. It is just so good. So there's one in Stanton, and we highly recommend that you visit while you are there. So now we're keeping score. We're going to move on to some logistical stuff, just so that you are all aware. I'm going to turn it over to Allie for just a minute.
All right, so I'm going to roll through what you can expect at the conference. Starting on Wednesday, October the 10th, we're going to start with a scavenger hunt of downtown Stanton. We have partnered up with Traipse. They are an online scavenger hunt kind of thing. They do things all over the state. So we have personalized a tour called the Wharf Tour. There are 3 different itineraries you can pick from, and all 3 include prizes. We had an enormous success with the welcome dinner last year, so we'll be doing that again this year at a really fun venue, the Baja Bee Company. There's actually one in Richmond. I don't know if any of you have been to it before, but it's a really cool place, so I'm sure that the one in Stanton is just as cool. Tuesday, registration will start at 8 a.m. We'll have a light breakfast. Then Sydney and Nick will kick us off with our first session, How to Humanize Your Brand Through Video. The second session, also from Sid and Nick, will be how to set up a video Facebook ad that will help you crush your competition. This will be followed by cyber liability, why it's not just for the IT department, and this will be for 3 OGI credits. And followed by that will be the trade show. As always, filled with carriers and vendors to help your agencies take things to the next level. Then the fun parts come. The annual awards dinner will be held Thursday from 6:15 to 8. That's where we'll announce our 2018 IIAB Young Agent of the Year and our Young Agents Company Person of the Year. Then we will go to our evening fun with a DJ, taking your requests. Be sure to pack your dancing shoes for that. And Friday morning, Cruising for a Bruisin' with Danny Mitchell, also with a light breakfast. And the IIAB Young Agents Committee meeting is open to everyone, so join us for that if you'd like.
And if you have not seen Danny Mitchell in action, it's a treat.
It is a treat. And there's breakfast.
It is a treat.
And lots of puns.
Yeah. Corny jokes. Many corny jokes.
All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Sydney, and she's going to give you a little insight into our first session, how to humanize your brand through video.
Thanks, guys. Well, first of all, I'm incredibly excited that you guys have given me the opportunity to come speak. Nick and I have been talking quite a bit about the session itself, and we are incredibly pumped about the content we're bringing in, and hope that everybody walks away with some really actionable things that they can execute on within 24 hours. That's the big goal. So I think, if there's one thing to remember, to take away from today, it's that we've got to get in a different mindset when we think about video. I think a lot of times when we think about video, we got to be Steven Spielberg. We got to be, best camera, best lighting. We have to have, look like we just had all this, like a person do our hair and makeup and all this great stuff, right? And hire a crew, and they're going to do all this great editing with the transitions, and the music is going to be perfect, and people are going to cry at the end. It's going to be awesome. and that's really, I think there is a space for that type of video. But in 2018, video is becoming a necessary part of your business process. So when you send out an email, can you send it with a video, right? When you put up a Facebook post, can you do it with a video? Because what you're doing is you're injecting more of yourself, your personality, your brand, your agency's brand into your online presence. If we don't have video online, it's a pretty cold place a lot of times, right? You can get a sense of who someone is from reading their content, but when you watch someone, you get to pick up on you guys are picking up on my body language right now. You're getting a feel for who I am. So that's what you're giving someone when you do that video. And it is so powerful. I'm going to walk you guys through a couple examples that I have seen in my own personal life and my professional life using video, and how I've gotten get people to take action. So it's incredible in sales. It's incredible with current clients because it deepens your relationship, which is great for retention. There's just so many reasons to do it. So, all right, one big takeaway here. If you have a sec, I probably shouldn't say it's a sec. It's more like if you have 15 minutes, I'm going to challenge you guys, everybody listening to this live, everybody listening to the recording, I'm going to challenge you guys to beat me to the punch and record a video proposal by October 10th, which is when I'm actually doing it, October 10th. So if you can do that, all you have to do, I'm going to give you the steps really quick. All you have to do is choose a tool. There are 3 free tools I'm going to recommend: Wistia's Soapbox, Loom, or BombBomb. So just go online, Google them, and choose one of those, whichever one works best for you. After you have that initial call with a prospect where you start to figure out what they're looking for, you go and quote it with a couple carriers, take all that information, and instead of wrapping it up into an email and sending it to that prospect, wrap it up in a video with one of the tools I just recommended, and then record it and send it off that way. And if you can do that, I will be, Nick, are you going to be impressed?
They'll already be ahead of 99% of the people that are in the industry who don't do that.
Boom. Totally. So, and here's the cool thing. If you've actually done it, then you're going to get so much more out of, talking with us, because it won't be, I don't know what tool to use. I don't know, what to do here. You're going to know what questions to ask. You're going to feel like you're in it. And you're just going to take so much more away from being there on October 10th. So the challenge is on. That's all I got, guys.
That was awesome. And I would definitely say, Nick, before we turn it over to you, I would definitely say, yes, take the challenge. I think we might take the challenge.
Yes.
Try it. Yeah. So, and you can prepare to maybe see something on Instagram or somewhere from us sometime soon. I don't know. Keep you guessing.
I like it. I saw that little side eye you gave me there. That's yeah, you might see that.
Keep us on our toes.
That was aimed at Allie.
I'll take it. I'm the video guy around here.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So, Nick, you're up. You're up, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted to echo a lot of what Sid was saying and just express my gratitude and thank you guys for allowing me the opportunity and the platform to kind of speak to and help people maybe go to the next level. Sid will be talking a lot, I'm assuming, about the creative aspect of video and how to, like her, I agree. I believe our problem is that we get stuck with prioritizing top end speed versus acceleration. And so a lot of times if you just use your cell phone to communicate that message and you prioritize acceleration and getting out of the gate, you can always scale up to the next installment of Star Wars if that's your dreams and ambitions. But what I'm going to be talking about is the distribution aspect of it. And so I'm attacking this and addressing this from a practitioner's level. So I own an agency here in Northern California, and we've used video and Facebook marketing as a combination to really scale and grow our business. And so without getting too far into the weeds, because it's very easy to do so, what I'm going to be helping you guys with and talking about at length and in detail at the conference is how to structure a video Facebook ad, or just a Facebook ad in general, but just a video Facebook ad in particular to meet an objective. And so we're going to be going over very specific granular ways to do that. And the way I'm going to attack is I'm going to attack it in 3 parts. Number 1, I'm going to attack it from a retargeting aspect. How to get people who are already engaged with your brand. Maybe they've been to a website, maybe they've done business with you, maybe you have their information now, and you can retarget them on Facebook and use this data to retarget them across the website in a more omni-channel presence. How do you stay in front of them to get them to make a decision? We're going to be talking about different marketing concepts and where people are at in the buyer's journey. I believe that a mistake that so many people have, particularly in insurance, is they don't understand the position that their consumer or their customer is at. Meaning this, a lot of times to a cold audience, people who don't know who we are, we want to get them to a call call to action right then and there. When in fact, what we need to do is we need to educate, bring some value, bring them through that process into a decision-making mode. And so what we're going to be talking about is how to address it from a content perspective, how to get people through that cycle so that you can ultimately get them to the point to where you are even doing a video proposal. But we are going to be addressing it from a retargeting aspect, how to get back in front of your customer, your prospect, people who are already aware of who you are. The second thing we're going to be addressing is very tactical ways to cross-sell your book of business. So here are going to be the things in the homework that I want people to come away with so that they are better prepared. We're all on different agency management systems. I'm sure there's 9 or 10 people on this call, if not more. I'm sure there's probably 9 or 10 different agency management systems or CRMs that we're using to segment our data. What I'd like everybody to do beforehand is to already have a list, an Excel spreadsheet out of their monoline business. So monoline home, monoline auto. If you're commercial lines and you want to attack you want to cross-sell a different thing, just bring out a monoline list that includes the following: first name, last name in separate fields, email address, phone number, address, city, state, and zip code. Those I'll say that again: first name, last name, email, phone, street address, city, zip code. And what I'm going to show you how to do is how to input that data into the machine so that Facebook can find those people, and then we can find people who look just like those people, right? And so we're going to show you how to create a message that, for example, how to get in front of your monoline home business. If you're like me, you do a lot of business with real estate or with lenders. And so that's obviously leading with the home. How to get in front of those people now to where we're hitting them for auto insurance. How to get in front of auto people and get them on the home. And so we're going to show you how to create those ads and use that data to ultimately create conversions. And so we're going to be using that with video from our agency, and I'm going to show you those different tactics. If you can take this one tactic, you can apply it and think about how it works, and you can apply it to different things. You can apply it to your people who've been to your website, people who've been to an event function of yours. So that's really what we're going to be talking about, and using video as a way to kind of bridge that gap.
Awesome.
Mic drop. Amazing.
I don't know whether to be completely creeped out or inspired by that.
Well, I mean, you think about it, how many times have you gone to how many times have you gone to a website and then all of a sudden you go back to Facebook or you go back to YouTube and you see that website or you see an ad for that company, right? What those companies are doing is they're staying in front of you. They know that, hey, you hit this page, but you didn't take action, so now we're going to continue to trail you. It used to be in the dark ages, the 1990s and the early 2000s, right? You used to have to go to every event in hopes that you saw that same person that you met at the previous event in order to create a relationship. Well, now we're using technology, we're using video to humanize our brand, to humanize our message, to then stay in front of them. And just, I tell people, you're either going to unsubscribe, unfollow, or buy from me. And I'm okay with one of the three, right? At least there's not a limbo point. I'm getting you to make a decision and take a stand one.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you both. And I would, again, encourage everybody on the call. And again, if you're on right now live or if you're watching the recorded version, take their advice. You're going to come into the conference with such an edge over people who did not see this or did not try it. And you'll be able to come in and ask questions, and you'll be able to get feedback directly from both of them. So please, please, please take their advice. And another thing that I'd like to remind you to do before we get to the last few trivia questions is go over that objectives worksheet with your supervisor. Make sure that you're really, really clear about what your objectives are, what their objectives are for you, and what they want you to come back with, as well as what you would like to accomplish while you're with us, because it shows that you're really serious about why you're attending. I think young agents tend to get this sort of bad rap sometimes that the conference is only fun and they're just there to, just to have a good time and for the social aspect. And we all know that that's not true. Plus, it really helps with anything that you're doing to come in with a game plan, and to come in and know who you want to talk to. What vendors do you need to see? What vendors do you have specific questions for? Not just do you want to go say hi to, but does your supervisor want you to ask a specific question? What do you want your agency to be able to accomplish with video, with Facebook? Before you ever get there, establish those goals with your supervisor, with your team, so that you can come back and really put those strategies to work. You will walk away with so much more value, and you'll demonstrate that to your agency, and your clients will see it if you just take a few minutes on the front end to really establish what you hope to accomplish. And also, please make sure, if you're not already doing so, follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. We're posting some really great stuff. There's going to be some cool stuff coming up. And I know that both Sid and Nick have ways that you can follow them as well and start kind of getting some additional information prior to the conference. Nick, do you want to share how our folks can follow you ahead of the conference?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm going to give them probably the best way to do that. So there's two ways that I would encourage you to follow me. Either number one, send me a personal friend request on Facebook, or two, you can follow my page. If you just type in Nicholas Ayers, you'll see a black and white photo of me with the ring light eyes for that dramatic cinematic effect. I would follow that page as well.
Okay, cool. And Sid, how do we follow you?
I would say the two best ways, although we're all over social media, so whatever works best for you, but the best ways, the most active places are Instagram, so @AgencyNation, and then my personal Facebook page. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out, PM me, and totally happy to get a conversation started before October 10th. So
Awesome. And I should say, I told you to follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, but I totally failed to mention what that's called. So I was going to send you on like a wild goose chase. Facebook, we are Independent Insurance Agents of Virginia, all spelled out. And then on Instagram, we are IIA_Virginia, spelled out. So you can follow us either place. And again, we've got more stuff to come online. So we look forward to seeing you. You're right at 12:30. We look forward to seeing you in Stanton, October 10th through 12th, and we would encourage you. There could be some prizes if you can refer another couple of agents to join us. So if you know somebody that's not registered yet, we would highly recommend that you get them there. They're going to benefit from it more than we can even tell you. Hopefully you know that by just this webinar today. But get your friends there. They need to attend, and we will see you in Stanton. Let us know how we can help. We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
thanks everybody.